What's up, guys? It's your boy Arrow once again, and we got Sagoon and Franz joining us. Another exciting episode on tonight's adventure. Today's episode is gonna be about happiness. So, what is happiness? Some people say happiness is basically a peace of mind. Others say happiness is when you have everything that you want. But then the real question is, what is that want? So everyone has a different want and a different need. But what we're going to look at is what is the basic need? And what is one thing that every human needs that will make them happy? So, Sagoon and Franz are going to dive with me into this topic and discuss more about happiness. So, okay, Sagoon, let's start. Happiness.
Yeah.
You tell me, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy is to spend time with like friends and family because I prefer more of like just the bonding with different human beings rather than being materialistic, because I think that that's the true way of how we're designed as well as humans. So I think that's the way, because you can have all the money in the world. We have that saying that, oh, you can have every, like, you can buy everything that you want, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be happy. You can buy that Lambo, you can buy that $1 million mansion, but are you really going to be happy? That's the question, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
I know.
Yeah,
You don't
100%
talk about
agree.
dollar bills, so that's what makes me happy. You take the podium and you tell me about your true happiness.
Uh, Honestly, I think it just depends on the person. Everyone has their own thing that makes them happy. Uh, I think universally, there's no agreed upon like definition of what happy is. I mean, I even went on Google earlier and like typed in definition of happiness, and it just said that happiness is state of being happy, which is really not very helpful. So I think happiness really is different for everyone, for each individual. I would say for some people it would be friends and family for sure. Experiences. It really depends. For you guys, I mean, yeah, we can talk about like things that make you happy, but um, what I'm trying to say is, in a way to put it, do the things that you do actually make you happy, or is it something that like you perceive to be happy? Does that make sense?
yeah, no, that makes sense. It's
Like for
basically,
example, like what I'm trying to make an example of is like, so when you play soccer for sure, right?
yeah.
So does playing soccer make you happy, or is it just, or is it the fact that like uh you, you watch a soccer on TV and whatnot, and that brings joy to you, or is it just something that you want to do as an activity to get motivated and going? You see what I'm saying? Because like,
Yeah,
for
no,
example, people that go to the gym, they do it to get in shape and whatnot, but
exactly.
some of them, are they happy doing it, or do they think of it as a job? You see what I'm trying to say?
That image perception, like, are
Right,
they
right,
are they really
exactly.
doing it to please others, or are they doing it to make themselves
Exactly.
happy?
Yeah, that's a better way of wording it. I was probably like
Yeah,
being
no,
around the
I,
bush.
I totally get what you mean. I mean, for me personally, like you said with soccer, I do that because I have a passion for the game. So I do it because it really does make me happy. I'm not trying to make other people happy that I like sports. So I want to do it because I want to, like, I watch soccer. I've been following the sport for over a decade. So the passion's always been there, and it's always like whenever I play it or watch it, it does give me that, in my brain. It gives me that stimulus of happiness. So that's why I'm gonna continue to do it.
Sagun, let me just I just want to say, you always agree. When was the last time you disagree?
Um, it's my nature that I that I do agree, but I mean, I of course I have different situations that I disagree as well, because, like, let's say you're saying that, like, some people say that happiness can be achieved by just money, because there's different perspectives of it too. It's our own opinion that we're trying to say, right? Some people might think that way, but I don't think that way, so I do disagree in that sense, that in that viewpoint itself, that I
Hmm.
believe people interaction is more important than materialistic interaction.
Okay, okay, okay. That and your yeah, makes sense perfectly. Okay. Um, So one thing I find it very unique about happiness is the more I'm looking at it, I think, in my opinion, happiness is basically when you're healthy, then you're happy. So in reality, if you're not healthy, then you're not really happy because I guess at that stage I mean, you're just unhealthy, right? Maybe Franz, you might have something on that topic.
Yeah, so I feel like when you're unhealthy or you have bad things going or things are not going your way, I think it's the negative thoughts that really affect it. I'm sure you guys can probably agree with that. Um, when you have like negative thoughts, it really puts it down on your day. You really feel unmotivated. I mean, don't you think that's correct, Errol?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I
No,
mean,
I disagree. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
I
okay.
do agree with the
no,
situation.
no. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, so here's the thing: being happy all the time is not possible. Okay, and the reason I say that is because you can't have happiness without sadness. You can't have pain without joy. You know what I mean? One day, it's just like the sun. You're gonna have 12 hours of sun. You're gonna have 12 hours of night. I mean, depends on in the world where you are. So it's like you got to have a balance of things. So the reason why people are so happy so much all the time is because that they've experienced pain and sadness. So it's like you're not a robot. You're a human being. You're gonna experience all kind of different aspects and emotions. So I think the right question is to like being like are you happy? But do you actually live a good life, or are you living a good life?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Franz.
You
So
agree again?
no, I mean the thing is, what he's saying is correct. Factually correct. It's not like he's saying something out of the blue. He has done
Right?
his.
Because look at it. Look. Not to interrupt you, but look at it this way: like you get happy sometimes because you're gonna go have a meal with your friends, but
Yeah,
then you know what I mean. You could be driving on your way home, like doing nothing, just staring at the road, and it kind of might depress you. You know what I mean? So it's like I think like you're gonna have intervals of happiness and uh, loneliness or sadness or whatever. I mean, there's got to be a balance towards things. I'm not saying that you got to be sad all the time. You got to be sad 50% of the time and sad and happy the other 50% of the time. I think you got to have a balance towards things. But what I was trying to say is that you can't truly experience full joy without experiencing the opposite of it. Correct?
it's just the way that our brains work.
Right.
Like
And we're human. I mean, it's natural, chemistry. I mean, we're humans. We have emotion.
yeah, and you have that dopamine, built in inside your brain as well. That simulates and that gives you that, I guess, that urge, to become happy. So it's
Yes,
different
sir.
situations, different environments. So yeah, I think Arrow has something to say about that.
Okay, okay. So here is the situation. So you guys remember when we talked about Japan and all this negativity and the results of whatever we talked about? Um, Curiosity got me looking into like a country that is technically happy in this world. And I came across the country, as we know, Bhutan. I'm not sure if a lot of people are familiar with that term, that country actually. So to give you a little background, Bhutan is a small country, maybe about 750,000 total population between India and China. Now, what I realized when I looked into this country, they have in their constitution that 70% of their land needs to be forested so that it can be basically nature. I don't know, Segun, it looks like you have something interesting to say about this.
Oh no, I mean you forgot that it also borders Nepal as well. So
Ah,
I just want to point that out.
you forgot about that
Okay, thank
country.
you.
Okay, okay, okay. I don't know if anybody also knows about Nepal. Segun, you telling them about Nepal. I don't know anything about Nepal, but uh,
Yeah, that'll be that. I mean, that about Nepal can be a whole different podcast itself. So let's I guess let's focus on Bhutan and
yeah.
the happiness.
When I mentioned India and China, it's such a big country. Nobody can forget those. Anyway,
Oh, don't worry. We got rich in culture, but that's for another time.
okay. So as I was mentioning, the country's three models are happiness, health, nature, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but two of them might be true. Where basically they make their citizens focus on tranquility and happiness, so that basically the people in the country cannot, like, they're not depressed. And you know what? Come to think of it, I haven't really seen any reports of it. Like for example, like Japan, where we saw like suicide. I didn't see any reports in Bhutan about that, which got me kind of curious. Looks like France. You said something very negative. I want to see what you want to say.
I said something very negative. When?
Oh, okay, that's not you. No worries.
No, no, no. I just want to
Wait,
add something.
when did I say something negative? Did I say it earlier?
Oh, okay. You said it earlier.
What did
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Because I'm trying to. Can you recap what I said?
I think Sagoon mentioned Nepal, and you came in saying, "Ah, shit."
No, I said okay, thank you, because you guys were bickering with each other.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, okay.
Like
Go,
I
go,
said,
go.
is for a different
Let's
podcast, right?
turn
So
turn that ship around. We're not going to Nepal.
yeah, yeah,
Not
we're
yet,
gonna
not
we're
yet.
gonna turn our ship to Bhutan. So, oh, I want to add something as well to Arrow's situation. So basically, one of the reasons why Bhutan is the happiest country in the world, as it was stated, is because they really believe in protecting the environment. 50% of the country is actually protected as a national park. So you can really see the emphasis on what they really believe. So that also as well. And also they don't really care about, like what the Western society really thinks. Because you have like, us here with all the social media, with all the Japan information that we talked about in our previous podcast. They don't really care about those TVs, radios, or the internet itself. They believe in more of a social interaction itself. So it's just one of those things that they're doing basically the opposite of what Western society is doing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Hey, I don't know if you guys. Hey, my bad, Era. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't know if you guys knew this, but also, I was actually doing. I was looking more into it, but I think it was also Finland, Sweden, and Denmark were also named as some of the happiest countries to live in the world as well, due to their low crime rates, community operations, like they take care of like one another in their community, low poverty rate, and things of that nature. They have like a well governed society as well. So I just wanted to mention that too. So
No, 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 I totally
fun
agree.
fact.
I think the
I mean, we
government
always
also has
agree,
to do
but
something with
let's
it.
disagree for now.
Yeah, I mean those are
That's the
facts,
three times saying totally agree. Let's,
No, I changed it up a little bit.
anyways, listen to this. Okay, so you guys, we're all three of us are millennials, and we definitely get bored. You know what I mean? And when you're bored, I don't think you're happy. You're like, what am I doing in life? Kind of question.
100%.
But what you notice with Bhutan, especially Bhutan, is like like that country has more forest than landmass. I mean, no, more forest than, I guess, built areas. And it's been proven scientifically, like, that when you have more plantation, that produces more oxygen, and the more oxygen is in your brain, the more freely you can think, and the more less blockage you have. So it could also be related to the fact that there's fresh air, and that the mentality is a little bit different, because I guess, the brain, in my opinion, is only happy when it's healthy. Therefore, the level of oxygen, or the food they probably eat is organic. Obviously, it's not GMO. I don't even think they listed organic because it comes organic. So, Sagun, please take. You have something?
Yeah, yeah. So you know how you say Bhutan itself as a really happy, country? I just thought of this. And like let's say from a personal experience, would you ever go and like live in Bhutan, and do you think you can actually, go there and, be happy? Because you're going to have to get away from social media and everything, So, would you really
Personally, I don't know. I mean, looking at it this way, just because we're so accustomed to the Western life and having like running water all the time, electricity, and other benefits. I mean, we're able to drive and whatnot. I don't know. It'd be difficult for me to make a drastic change like that. So
Yeah,
not saying that you wouldn't be happier living where you are right now or any other country, but just making like a big drastic change like that for me, I don't see myself adjusting well in the beginning. But who knows? That's just my opinion.
exactly. And also, the
I have
people that live there are already accustomed to it as well, so they're already adapted. But you've lived in the Western society for a longer time, so I
Right.
can see that.
I have something funny to say. On the episode 86,400 seconds, since Franz mentioned he can't live without the car and the phone and social media, that means 11 years of his lifespan is dedicated to.
No, bro, calm down. You gotta no. Listen. I'm telling you, I cannot live without no electricity or without running water for the toilet.
Uh, so good. I don't know what the hell that was, but it sounded like a chipmunks. I don't think that clapping thing is efficient right now.
No, it's
What the hell was
probably
that?
a
What was that
random
noise?
I have no clue. Maybe the electricity is going out. Maybe it's because I'm unhappy. I don't know. Maybe the energy, you know?
Listen, all I'm saying is I cannot run without. I need electricity in my house. I need running AC. That's the way I grew up. We are pampered. I cannot, see myself going in, in another country and living without electricity. I mean, listen, I'm sure other people are able to do it. I'm sure I could probably do it for like a week or two. But imagining my whole life, like I said, I'm accustomed to this, so I don't see myself making like a big change like that anytime soon. Nothing
Definitely
against
not a
it, but that's
spoon
just
in my
my
face.
opinion.
Uh, I forgot to mention France. It's also, I'm not saying Bhutan does this, but hypothetically, when you don't care, and the countries when I'm looking at, they're gonna eat with their hands, and I know you definitely need that spoon with you. So
Yeah,
I'm putting it out there.
spoon's a
No,
big thing
no,
for
no
me.
spoons left behind.
Yeah, because every plate begins with a spoon. Remember that.
I don't think they have burgers in Bhutan either. So just to let you know, Arrow.
I like burgers.
I know you're a big burger fan. So
Big fan. So so what I'm guessing is Arrow's not really gonna go to Bhutan anytime soon. Maybe just to visit, but not to live.
Well, Bhutan, I've used foreigners $200. Okay, that's more than that's more than what I make in a day. So accounting what kind of hamster wheel I'm inside. So I'm a literally a prisoner for now until I could escape. But we'll
we're in
figure
your
it
hole
out.
something.
Just like how we mentioned in our old podcast with the 9 to 5 theory, that's why you need those side hustles so that you can fund your trip to go to Bhutan so you can make and afford that, you know? So that also links to what we were saying before. So even though it might be expensive right now, you can work towards it, you know, and go for it.
Okay, okay. Happiness it is. Fun.
So I wanted to add. So I know we were talking about Bhutan and happiness and whatnot. I actually recently saw. I think it was a TED Talk video. So this guy he runs a program for Harvard University that they have actually been running for I think about like 75 to 80 years now. It's actually one of the longest running programs where they actually take a look at they were like student the back 75 years ago these researchers were looking at students at Harvard University and whatnot. I think there was like over 700 people that they were studying, and they were actually studying their lives, how they lived their lives and whatnot. And long story short, they basically found that people that had good relationships, social connections, and quality relationships with each other, whether it was friends, loved ones, spouse within their community, actually lived longer and lived a happier life. So I think that's why we see people in, like, for example, like Bhutan, uh, being more happier because they probably have such a tight knit community together, and they have so much respect for each other and a social connection. And not just Bhutan, either other countries like I mentioned in Finland and Denmark, and I'm sure there's other countries that we're forgetting, but people that I feel like are closer and respect each other and give each other, again, the same respect, have a better quality of life from what I would say, and then based on the research and then also what I read.
Okay, that kind of brings me to a question. Knowing all of us grew up in the '90s, we all have video games. Do you think A, if we had a PlayStation, it would make us happy? Or B, we're outside in the dirt and the mud, and I guess smacking little kids like we always did back in the day. Segun?
Personally for me, like when I was younger, it was also because of my personality. I would say the PlayStation actually made me happier. But as I grew up, like I just saw the value of like friendships, interactions with different people more important. So I think it also depends on like your time in your life, Like what you value most is it differs from your different experiences that you have. So yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
PlayStation was
yeah,
the thing back in the day for me.
100%. I mean, for me, I really enjoyed playing outside. Then again, I grew up with like a lot of cousins, and then there was a lot of kids in my neighborhood that were the same age, and we also went to the same school. So every time we get off the bus or whatnot, after eating at home, we'd go out and we'd be playing around the neighborhood. So I really value that. I mean, you don't really notice it during that time because you're doing it every day. You're playing, but looking at back now, it's nostalgic. Thinking about you're going around, you had no worries, you were just playing freely for several hours. And, times change, but I mean, I really enjoyed the time spent outside. Whereas now, a lot of people are focusing on the social aspect of it. On the social media side.
Yeah, that reminds me. So my experience is a little bit different. I couldn't afford a PlayStation, so actually not even a PlayStation. This was back in Nintendo 64 or Sega time. I mean, I don't think I was that, but I didn't have a video game. So what I would do is beg my parents to take me to these little mini arcades where they had like all these systems, and a bunch of little kids would be there, and it's kind of like fun because you get like popcorn. It was the experience that made it fun, rather because I was around people. So for me, I guess being around people made it fun. I don't think I would ever enjoy having a video game by myself. Yes, maybe you're in that little Oompa Loompa world, but I guess someone's called me GMO. Hey, so good. So good.
Yes,
Genetically modified organism.
organism. No, no, no. I mean, it's obviously it's a joke, but the thing is, like you said, right?
Yeah,
When I
yeah,
was
that's right. Keep on
younger,
keep on agreeing. Keep on agreeing. So go keep
no,
on
no, I
agreeing with
wasn't
everyone.
agreeing. I was not agreeing.
I object.
I was trying to make a point. I was trying to make a point that I want to say that different people, like what Arrow said, right? Arrow said that he more preferred, or was it Arrow or was it Franz? One of you guys said that you guys prefer to be more outside with,
Yeah, yeah, we both said that. I don't
you
think
both
Arrow heard me. I think he was probably paying attention to something else. But I said I
yeah.
preferred to be
Yeah,
outside.
You both of you guys preferred that, but for me, it was just a different, experience. So, which proves my point that different people have different kind of perspectives. It also depends if you're introvert and extrovert, because introverts are more like happy with themselves, and then extroverts are they need other people's energy, to feed them. They need more interaction, and that could change throughout your whole life. So. It's just one of those things. Happiness is defined based off your environment and just how you're structured as well, how your brain operates. That's kind of what I think.
I think my definition: happiness is when you're happy and you're healthy, or rather, when you're healthy first, then you're
Yeah.
happy.
No, no, I mean health does bring that effect, because if you're not healthy, then of course you're not going to be happy, because you're going to be stressing about all these different diseases that are going to be in your body, right? So
Not only that, but just also people have like insecurities of how they look too. So
that is true as well. Yep.
Hey, hey, hey! Have you guys heard of this thing? It's a pseudoscience, but it's actually true. They say when your mind is not at ease, then your body creates disease. You like that?
Wow. That I mean,
thank
Sood,
you.
I think you should be a rapper.
I'm sorry, who's Masood?
I don't know, man. I think I accidentally said that, but I have no
Who
clue.
the fuck is Masood? Anyways, we
No,
don't
I
know.
have no
Yo,
clue.
you're confusing him with the other guy, man.
Yeah, no, I think it was like one of my friends, but sorry about that. I think I was just getting off, track. I'm sorry, Arrow. Continue with what you were saying.
Okay, well, no, I made my point. I think we talked a lot about this. Let's let the audience decide how we should continue it forward if they're interested in carrying this to another episode. Sagun, you obviously know everybody enjoys listening to you, and you're agreement to every sentence.
Might as well call me agreeing man, or
Okay.
some other nickname.
So I'm gonna end it on tonight's episode. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for listening. As always, we're always happy to have you.
Oh,
Please
I see what you did
like,
there.
subscribe, and what's the last one? Second, am I missing?
Rate. You always forget this, but it's also rate as
Rate,
well.
rate.
Yeah,
It's
rate,
all
and then make
everything.
sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in for the next episode. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Thank you.